Welcome to a short tutorial about main wing profiles. The wisdom that is contained within the design of the classic Clark Y profile. Shown here in a couple of different views. This text tells you why to use a Clark Y or something that resembles it. The Clark Y just really can't be beat. The basic shape of it, at least. When the way this profile is designed, when it's mounted at 0 degrees, it's raised up. Its center line is raised up. Its nose is raised up, so it has a built-in positive angle of incidence. It's there all the time when it's mounted on a flat level mount. So it's convenient, it works, it's efficient, it can be made thicker or thinner, but the shape should be the same at all times. And if it's made thinner, you're going to have a faster wing, a wing that's going to have to fly fast all the time. If you make it thicker, you're going to have a higher lift wing. So, you take that into account. Higher lift, you always get more lift with more drag. More drag with more lift, So that's always the bullet that you try to dodge during design. That's why it's tapered, such, and everything. People make a big fuss about separation, laminar flow, blah, 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 KF profiles, blah, blah, blah. Well, when a wing with a profile like this is mounted at 0 degrees, laminar flow separation is not going to be that big a deal. People need to let go of that obsession. It's not going to separate that much. In my opinion, it's when the angle of incidence or attack is like 3 degrees or more. Then you get serious breakup of the laminar flow over the last half of the upper surface of the profile. So thinking and applying that to something like the KF profiles, they're just silly. The theory was developed to explain how paper airplanes fly, and it's just not. It's only partially right. It certainly doesn't apply to a classic Delta folded airplane made from one sheet of paper. Those things do not fly that way. Everything's just too small, for one thing, on a paper airplane. It's just too damn small. The boundary layer is thicker than the layer where lift might happen, in my opinion. It's a flawed theory, and folks should maybe try to let go of it in favor of something that looks a lot more like the Clark Y. So, as can be seen, the shape is specific. Clark knew what he was doing when he made this. Because of this, where the neutral line actually is, it actually has a positive 1.5 or so degrees of angle of incidence at all times. So for a powered aircraft, you see, that wing is being pulled through the air, and it's always getting that little extra air under there, making high drag lift, you might say, from simple just action-reaction. Air hits it and pushes it up. Whereas, if the Clark White is mounted on its with this neutral line parallel to the or at the 0, 0 line of the wing mount, it's not going to have that. It's going to be wonky. It's the tail is going to swoop up, in fact, and you just don't want that on a model. I mean, you know, it works, but there's no point. It's adding complexity to a system because you're making a tiny little wing. No matter how big your model is, it's tiny compared to any full-size aircraft. So you need to apply the rules of modeling, and these are some of them. Design rules. So remember, in my experience, the chord of the main wing should be about 22% of the fuselage length. That's for a normal type of aspect ratio between the chord and the wingspan. So some guys make the chord excessively big, and so that's an issue. But you know, the thing flies. Maybe, you know, I'll leave it at that anyway. So there you go.